And welcome everyone to game 29 of the Gillies Shield Championships here in Perth, Western Australia, being played at the Mirrabooka International Softball Stadium. We've got a game this evening between Queensland Heat and New South Wales Fire Stars. Running through the lineup for Queensland is pitcher Sandra Holden to Carmel Sorensen, Jessica Torpey at first, Brooke Spence at second, Olivia McGinley at third, Tamika Whitefield at shortstop. Outfielders Charisma Kerr, Jade Wall and Rebecca McKetchin. And to lead off New South Wales is Rachel Lack. First pitch by Rachel Lack goes back towards the shortstop. Too hot for her to handle, and New South Wales have their first runner on. And we're really lucky for this game, ladies and gentlemen, to have the wonderful company of Joycey Lester helping with our commentary and adding some very special comments.
Yes, this is going to be a great game, and on normal occurrence it would be fantastic, except it doesn't really matter which team wins. They're both in the top three.
The bunt goes down by Shannon Keevers. She beats it out to first base and makes it safely. So New South Wales have runners on first and second and none away.
And this is probably not a great start for Queensland. They've put Sandy Holden, who's a player who's played for Queensland for such a long time, since 2004, hoping to get a good start against New South Wales.
Stacey Porter's in the batter's box and she looks at that first pitch for strike one.
And Stacey will certainly be looking to try and get a longer base hit in this game, wanting to get her eye in for the finals. Her batting performance hasn't been up to her normal, great and amazing performance, but we're expecting great things from her over the next day.
I'm sure she has very lofty standards that only she could attain.
And there she goes, scoring the first run for New South Wales. Unlucky for Queensland, and a little bit of a bubble out there by Jade Wall in centre field, which is not normal for her. She's normally a very steady fielder and a great Australian player.
So New South Wales score their first run, and into the batter's box is right fielder Jasmine Peters.
And there's Queensland there, and still they haven't got one out, and runners on 2 and 3. One run already scored, and a great effort from Stacey Porter. That would be the aim for her, to get some good pieces of the ball. Tomorrow, the final, they're New South Wales straight into the grand final.
Ball's hit down to shortstop there. Tamika Whitefield makes the play across to first, but New South score one more run.
Yes, and they knew it was only going to be a push hit through there for Jasmine. They were wanting to get that run home, but Tamika was unable to get that runner, and so was forced to throw to first. Great play by Tamika Whitefield.
Tali Moore's in the batter's box, and she watches that first strike go across.
And Tali Moore's just looked amazing this week. She's just been getting on base all the time. She's so fast. And hitting the ball well, just as she's done it again, all the way out into right field, which scores another run. And look, she could probably even make it home. but held up by Kerry Porter on third.
Great hit there by Tali Moore. Stand-up triple, although she did slide into third, just to make it a little bit more specky.
Yes, and she's one of the up-and-coming players around the diamond, and she's been very exciting this tournament to watch. Had a little bit of a hole over the last day or so, but she's just come back with that great hit.
That'll give her lots of confidence going into tomorrow's game. First pitch on Bianca Abrahams is strike one.
Bianca's 25 and she plays for Penrith City Association in New South Wales.
Fouls that off down the first base line. Strike two on Bianca. We've got Stacey Porter at third. Tali Moore at third.
Yes, and only one out for Queensland, and you can see the infield have moved right in. And unfortunately, another hit that's bounced right over the top of Sandra Holden's head to score another run, 4 runs for the start of this game. I was talking to the coach beforehand, the Queensland coach, Kevin, and he was saying we wanted to start with Sandy to try and get a really good start, to try and hold them at the start, because the last 2 times it's been a bit of a blowout. One was a 6th inning game with, I think it was 9-1, and the other one was a 5 innings game, 8-1. And now Queensland have not been showing any of their pitches to New South Wales in the hope that they'll meet them in the grand final and then they can go full force against them. All good plans don't always work, do they? Obviously.
Into the batter's box is Gemma Trim.
Jenna Trim went away with the under-19 World to the World Series representing Australia last year, and she's only 19 years of age. Great to see her playing at the Nationals. And you'd have to imagine how great it is for these kids to be able to come in and play again with some of these players in the New South Wales team who are amazing players, who usually annihilate other teams. So they must learn so much in this 1 week.
It's great to have those mentors in the team just to, steady you in some of those situations and to just show you how to win games sometimes and just stick it out, be tough and win.
Rebecca McKinlay at third base stops that ball and goes over for the force to 2, throws through to Brooke Spence. And that's great to get the lead runner, which is obviously what, the aim of the game is. And 2 outs, it's still 4 runs. Very disappointing start for Queensland, but I must say they've hit their straps and they're hitting really well. So 4 runs is not too many for them to get.
Fouled off by Maya Geros. Strike one. Yes, we saw Queensland in an earlier game just come out batting, nothing to lose. Tonked in about 4 runs in 1 innings under pressure. Great effort.
And look, last night too, they against Victoria, I mean, it was like a cricket score. It was, I think, 4-all, and they went into extra innings, and then it was 7-all, and then they went into extra innings, and then Victoria got 11 runs, and then Queensland came in and got extra runs and won 12-11.
I don't think I've ever seen in extra innings a team come back from 4 runs down in a tie break, and they just batted their way through that last night. And yeah, like I said, I don't think I've ever seen that before.
I thought it was outstanding. So who knows, anything can happen at this tournament. It's 3 rounds. This is the end of the 3 rounds, and we all predicted that we were going to see more hitting towards this stage of this competition.
And Maya watches that one go across for a strikeout. And that's all for New South Wales, but such a positive start. 4 runs in the top of the first innings. So immediately puts the pressure back on Queensland.
It certainly does, and they've got to face up against Cadicchio, Amelia Cadicchio, and she's really good pitcher. She struggled the last game she played, which was last night, and she threw quite a few walks at the beginning of the game, which made it very difficult. And in fact, they were beaten last night for the first game in this series. Very unusual for New South Wales to get beaten, and I think, I can't remember the score, maybe about 5-0 or 5-1 to South Australia. And I'm sure Amelia will be coming out here and absolutely hoping that she has a great game and she can start from this first batter of putting in a good strike, because that's the aim. Early strike in the count.
Yeah. Get ahead of the batter there. So just running through New South Wales lineup. As you heard, Amelia Cadicchio is pitching to Rachel Lack behind the basque. Bianca Abrahams is at first base. Tali Moore at second. Jenna Trim at third. Maya Geros at shortstop. Left field, Molly Meenan. Shannon Keevers in centre field. Jasmine Peters in right field, just to round it all out. And to lead off the batting for Queensland, their shortstop, Tamika Whitefield. The umpires for this game, behind the plate is Mark Gallagher. First base is Daryl Pearce, and Kerry Franklin is at third.
And I saw lots of great things from Tamika. She's only 20 years of age, and I think this is probably her third Gillies Shield. She has walked into the Australian team and done a great job right from the beginning, and she comes from a family of softballers. Her two brothers and her have all played for the Australian under-19 World Cups, which is just amazing.
So no hereditary there at all.
And her father was a pitcher as well.
First pitch on Tamika is ball one. Fouled down there by Tamika Whitefield. You can just see the centre fielder out there, Shannon Keevers, has got her glove up. That sun is just at this moment right in her eyes. She's probably the only fielder out there at the moment that would have any difficulty seeing the ball.
Oh, that's a great stop there from the third base. She's done an absolutely amazing job, Jenna Trim, stopping it and sending it over to first base. Obviously why she's made the Australian under-19 team. Awesome job.
It's one away for Queensland, and in the batter's box, Carmel Sorensen, the catcher.
And Carmi's just a personality of this game. She's one of Queensland's older players. Not that it's that old, being 30, but she's certainly been around a while. And she adds so much energy to the team, because, of course, last year I was down there coaching on first base. So it's very different to be just watching this year. But it's very exciting to watch all these players, because they're amazing.
Fouled off by Carmel, evens the count, 1-1.
Yeah, and Carmi's hitting her straps at the moment as well. She probably started a little bit slow. She has just a beautiful hard swing, as you can see, and she's been hitting the ball so hard, anything can happen when she hits. An example of a great swing there, unfortunately missed.
But it certainly shows her intentions.
And a slow pitch from Cadicchio, which went into the dirt. Probably a good call there by the catcher, Lack, against Sorensen, just to try and change up her timing.
Ball's just come into play there, so we'll just clear one from the diamond. Foul balls come over from Diamond 2, where Western Australia is playing South Australia currently.
her just having a go at the ball, but her bat head just in behind her, which sends it off into foul ball territory. Should be hoping to get that bat head out and nice and fast straight in that centre of that ball.
Nice hard piece of the ball, but grounded out to Maya Jeros at shortstop. 2 away for Queensland. And into the box will be the designated player, Chelsea Falcon.
And what a great player this girl is. She's played in Aussie teams for years, and she's a PE teacher, 30 years of age, 15 years at Gillies. And here she is. She's played a few with WA. And of course moved across to Queensland and has been playing for Queensland for the last few years. So she's certainly a great member of the Queensland team and is renowned for hitting the ball over the fence.
Yeah, we've seen it go to the fence a couple of times already. That one's ground out, foul ball. Evens the count, 1-1.
Yes, and I believe that Australia and our high-performance manager, Simone Wern, is actually working at trying to get people to put in money per home run to go to the bushfire problem that's going on. So I know that she's sitting down there wishing for more people to hit home runs so that people can donate more money. That's a beautiful stop again by the third base. Great job, and a really hard hit ball by Chelsea Falcon.
That's 2 down to Jenna Trim there that she's taken magnificently, very cleanly, made the out at first and retires Queensland without a runner on base.
Not the start that Queensland would want. 4 runs to nothing. And of course they didn't come back very quickly against Cadicio. In fact, Cadicio did a great job of holding them out and keeping them all to infield hits. So great job by New South Wales, and this is certainly a contest and could be the same game tomorrow night at 6:30 for the grand final. So tomorrow at 2:30 it'll be Queensland versus South Australia. So that should be a great game, and whoever wins that plays New South Wales in the grand final.
So New South Wales, because they're finished on top, automatically go into the grand final.
Absolutely, and they've played great all week, so they deservedly go in, and they've only lost the 1 game, and so they'd be hoping to, because there's a chance they might play Queensland, of really trying to win this game with lots of hits and putting the extra pressure on them.
Molly Meenan in the batter's box there. She doesn't get the bat around in time and just knocks the ball down into foul territory at her feet.
And Molly Meenan's 22, and she actually goes to college at Purdue in Indiana in the States, and she'll be returning back there next week, I believe.
And that one just clips the outside for strike 2.
And again, very lucky to be playing around these players, and she's been looking quite good and really improving in the batting box. Meenan had some great hits.
Goes down looking at that third strike that just cut the outside edge of the plate. And that's great pitching by Sandra Holden. 1 away for New South Wales. And into the box is the original leadoff and catcher, Rachel Lack.
Yes, and like last time at bat, hit the ball to shortstop, and of course Whitefield couldn't field it cleanly, so she'll be hoping to do that a little bit better and keep New South Wales to 3 outs.
First pitch is ball 1.
Holden really working the inside of that plate against the New South Wales hitters.
Great line drive down third base there and taken by Olivia McGinley. And it's 2 away for New South Wales and brings to the box Shannon Keevers.
Yes, this is the first time Olivia McKinley has played for Queensland, so the seniors. She's been playing for South Australia the last few years, so she's been really looking forward to having her time on the diamond. That was a great out by her.
First pitch on Shannon is strike one. So when you say Olivia McGinley used to play for South Australia, how come she is now playing for Queensland?
Well, she actually didn't make the team, so she was taken in the draft, and South Australia actually picked her up, and so she's played there for a few years. The same thing actually happened to Jess Torpey, the first base player, and they've come back to play. So it's been lucky for them. They've had that great experience. They haven't made the team on certain occurrences, so they've been able to play for another state, get their game up, and really have had great performances with South Australia.
That's a great system.
It is a great system. It should be great for all the young players.
So the count on Shannon is 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Shannon Keevers is renowned for her putting the ball down just into the infield and running it out. She's so quick. Mind you, she can also hit as well. Great player, and she's been getting herself into the Australian team. She's only 21 and plays for Sutherland Shire in New South Wales.
So it's full count on Shannon Keevers and 2 away for New South Wales.
And exactly that, putting the ball down. And look, that's exactly what I was saying. What a great sprinter she is. McKinley just went up into the air a little bit far, gave Keevers an extra 2 steps to make it safe to first base. That's great left-handed slapping.
Great speed. And in the batter's box now is Stacey Porter.
And again, another hit there. Both of them are going to get safe. Perfect placing by Stacey Porter. I know she won't be happy with the that it didn't come clean off the bat, but you know what? Great players make great luck, you know, and she's always in there. And even when she mishits the ball, she's probably really hard on herself, but they're still great hits. It's good team playing.
Jasmine Peters fouls that off for strike one. Strikes at that one. The ball gets away from the catcher and the runners advance.
I'm not really sure what happened there. The catcher must have not been able to see the ball, which is quite unusual. Normally not much gets past Kami Sorensen.
No, very clean.
And there's an example of it. Beautiful blocking by Kami Sorensen on a ball from Sandy Holden that's gone in the dirt.
Not much used to get past you either, Joyce.
Oh, yeah. Are you talking about the ball or other things? But
I was commenting as you as a wonderful catcher for Australia.
Oh, thank you. But I don't think we never used to block like that. Everything's changed so much. I mean, Kami's textbook really when it comes to blocking when she catches. So I often look at wonderment how the game's changed and how the athletes are so much, you know, the game, each position is just so different. And look, Sorensen takes that really well because there's a lot of movement in the air up there. If you could see the trees and how much movement's going on, that's really, really difficult.
Yeah, we saw her take a great catch in the last game right up against the net there, and the wind was just swirling around, and all she could do in the last second was to throw her glove back, and she took the catch. But if she hadn't made the effort, she wouldn't have been anywhere near the ball.
Oh, absolutely. And it's been like that all day. The wind is crazy, and you see balls going that look like they're going all the way out and then they're pulled back further. It's really difficult for the outfielders, and it's really difficult for first and third base when the ball goes up in the air, as well as the catcher. It's certainly testing everyone. You know, you've got to keep your eye on the ball and just go for it, and give it every chance and not just expect it's going to go foul.
Yeah, players at this level don't usually drop catches, and to see them sometimes just misjudging is evidence of how gusty this wind is today. Into the batter's box comes the first base, Jessica Torpey.
And she takes a good cut at that. Now, look, anything I say about Jess, well, she's my niece, so she's 30 years old, and realistically over the last 4 or 5 years has improved dramatically, and she's become quite a good hitter, which is great to see. Nice to leave that pitch from Cadicchio. It has been very impressive, the improvements that Jess has made. She's really worked hard, and it's really showing the benefits. I could read the rest she wrote down about the interesting facts, like her auntie's crazy, and that...
Well, I'd have to agree with that one.
Yeah, you never believe anything that girl says. But anyway, very funny. Oh, change up pitch, high for Cadicchio against Torpey. Just trying to mix it up to keep Torpey off her timing. A well-struck ball to shortstop, but she makes no mistakes and makes the out on Torpey.
It was a regulation out there by Maya Geros, but that ball was hit really hard, so timings looks like it's on for Jess Torpey.
Yes, and hopefully for the next hitter as well, Jade Wall, who's really been striking the ball hard, has been hitting the ball over the fence and going for long hits. So Cadicchio will be really working at changing the pace against Jade Wall, you would imagine. Yeah, keep that timing off so she mishits. Oh, great hit, but it's going to go straight out to right fielder, which is Jasmine Peters. Yeah.
There's a lot of promise there from Queensland with their hitting. It's just a matter of getting their timing right and maybe not skying some of those long hits, and they'll be right back in this ball game. And we've got Charisma Kerr. This is her first year in the women's open team in Queensland. Great left-hander. She's so quick and a gutsy little player, and she's so exciting to watch. So she must be so excited to be a member of the team and just getting in the top 9 often. Strike 2 on Charisma. Charisma's 22, and there's great experience for her to go up against all these great pitchers that are here this week. She watches that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And you can see she's just trying to poke that ball to try and get it through the field to get herself enough time to get through to first base, because she's so quick. You often see that now. The big thing is the left-handers of just popping that ball down and taking off. Of course, the best bet is for them to be able to hit really hard as well. So that's the ultimate. So overseas, you get your Americans and Japanese players who can hit and slap and bunt from the left-handed box. That's the ultimate.
That's our aim in Australia.
Great piece of the ball there down the third base line, but foul ball. So 2 away for Queensland, and it's 2-2 on Charisma.
Oh, beautiful change-up pitch from Cadicchio, and of course Charisma Kerr had to have a go at it for a third strike and totally mistimed it. Beautiful pitch.
Yes, great pitching by Amelia. And that's not easy to do a change-up. People might be thinking it's just, you know, slow it down a bit, but your whole action is still coming out just as fast as you would for a normal fast pitch, but you're just holding back a little.
Oh, absolutely. And some of these pitches have taken so long to try and learn how to throw a change-up. And again, it's changed so much over the years because now they're trying to pick up pitches while it's in your glove by, you know, pitcher just turning their hand a little bit that might give away that it's going to be a change-up. So you can't do anything different to every other pitch. So you'd imagine trying to keep all of your action exactly the same and it come out really slowly. So it's a great technique, and some of our pitchers do it so well. And that was a perfect example of Cadicchio.
Great example for any young pitcher out there. Just study some of these pitches because they can certainly teach us all a lot.
We've got a new pitcher on the mound here for Queensland, which is Jackie O'Connor. And so Jackie will take the mound. Now she's a little bit slower than our other pitchers and first year in the Queensland team. She's had a few appearances on the plate this week. And she's done a pretty good job, actually. She's a left-hander, and which makes it a little bit more difficult for players.
So why, being a left-hander, why would that make it more difficult for the batters?
Oh, different angle. So many players are right-handed in our game, and just getting that angle different makes a big difference.
Tali Moore up to bat. She made a beautiful triple at her previous turn at bat. She slaps that one down, well fielded by Tamika White. Fires the ball across to first base, but she's quick. Tali's very quick, made it up there, and so New South Wales have their first runner on.
And this is another example of, you want those lefties to be able to hit the ball long, and you want them to be able to put the ball in play like that and be able to run it out. They're so hard to get out. And Tali's just shown us an absolute perfect example, both turns at bat.
Yeah, there was certainly no error there. The play was made perfectly, but you just couldn't beat Tali's running up the line there. In the box is Bianca Abrahams.
Bianca's from Penrith City Association. And she's been in the Open team since 2014. She catches as well, so she's had a few games catching and played on first base.
Big swing, the runner steals through to second, Tali Moore. Again, evidence of her speed.
Yes, so just putting the pressure all on the whole time against Queensland, and they're probably saying, we're going to show you everything we've got in case we see you tomorrow. Just keep that pressure on to make it more difficult for Queensland and keep them under the thumb the whole time. Foul ball there by Abrahams, and of course just over the fence, and the Queensland is unable to catch that, too far away. That wind is absolutely howling out there. I'd hate to be in the outfield in this game. It's going to be such a difficult thing to catch any fly ball.
Bianca fouls that off again down third base.
You can just see that change of speed from Jackie, that she's put the ball on the outside, and of course Abrahams has had to reach all the way around and pulled it from the outside all the way around to third base.
Lovely change up again there, just putting Bianca off her timing. This time she gets it into fair territory. Fielded by Olivia McGinley. And Tali Moore steals from second to third on that throw. And so New South Wales have a runner in scoring position with one away.
Yes, pressure on Queensland again, of course, with Trim up to bat, who last time to bat hit to third base, and they took the force out at 2.
Just fouled that first pitch off for strike 1.
And Queensland will be wanting for Tali Moore not to come into home. So they have the infield have all moved in closer to try and make the out at home, so another run doesn't score. So McKinley looks at third base at Tali Moore, says, I can see you, holds long enough to be able to make the throw over in the hope that Moore doesn't run home.
That just looks like poetry there in motion. Just couldn't have been done better by anyone. Well done. 2 away for New South Wales, and brings Maya Geros to the plate.
So she chases that pitch. Last time at to bat, she was up against Sandy Holden. She was K'd, 3 strikes. So she'll be hoping to be able to put that ball into play, and certainly she'll be able to score the run. And she puts it through to Brooke Spence, who, your worst nightmare, lets it go through your legs and to the outfield, which scores on an error. Very disappointing, and I'm sure Brooke Spence will not be happy with herself. She's one of those people who gets very hard on herself when she makes any error.
And that's the secret, isn't it? Having that temperament to be able to shake it off and forget about it so that you can move forward in the game without that nagging error just dragging the rest of your game down.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's one of the hardest things to do because the next pitch goes down and it could easily come back to you. And it's sort of like you have to get back on the bike the whole time. And next time she won't make that mistake. She even put her legs down and it still found that hole, unfortunately.
That one's flied out to shortstop. Tamika Whitefield takes that ball. Regulation out for her. And that's all for New South Wales. But they do score one more valuable run. And as we go into the bottom of the third, New South are leading Queensland 5 runs to 1.
Yes, not a great start for Queensland. They were really hoping in this game to change the game around after they were beaten by New South Wales quite convincingly the last 2 times. Of course, Queensland have the extra game tomorrow to play against South Australia. And look, that's going to be a hard battle. South Australia have got some amazing pitchers on board. They've got 2 players from overseas, 2 pitchers who are great pitchers who they have. Whereas New South Wales and Queensland have no pickups at all from overseas. They just have their homegrown players playing. So it's a great thing now that you can pick up from overseas and you can have 2 pickups in your team, which I think is great for our game. So our girls are able to see pitches all the time at a high standard. You know, we've got an Italian pitcher here, we've got American pitchers here. It's just great for our game.
Fantastic. And that game tomorrow between Queensland and South Australia will be live streamed 2:30 Perth time. So you can work out, make the adjustments, 2:30 Perth time tomorrow.
Olivia McGinley, lead-off batter for Queensland. Watches the first pitch over from Cadicchio on the outside of the plate.
So Queensland have had 3 batters up and 3 batters out each inning so far, so they'll be wanting to make something of this innings.
And not a great start. Cadicchio stops that ball and sails it across to first base to Abrahams to make the first out for Queensland. They really need to drive that ball hard through the infield. I think the first innings, we looked like that Queensland were going to do that, but they've really slowed it down a bit. We're at the bottom of the order in the batting order. Brooke Spence just gets that ball in over first base head. That's great for her. Just after her error, this is payback, and that's she's evened the score.
And that's exactly what Queensland needed. They needed to get a runner on, because we've seen them batting so well throughout this tournament. Into the batter's box, Rebecca McCutcheon.
Beck McCutcheon, first pitch, and erred by third base by Trim, and which puts us Queensland into the game. Runners on 1 and 2 with 1 out. Put the pressure on. Put the pressure on. This is a good start, and hopefully they can at least break that 0 score and start on the track back.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were saying. They needed to put some pressure on, and they've done that and caused an error. So we now go back to the top of the lineup, Tamika Whitefield.
Tamika watches that first pitch. Tamika is very good at picking the balls and strikes and waiting for a good pitch to come over. And that's why she's a lead-off hitter. Plus, she's quick. Beautiful change-up again by Amelia Cadicchio. Pitching much better today than the other night. She's really on form and more consistent. Oh, and the ball goes up into the air. Oh, and again, it's found the gap. And Queensland have another runner on base. They might not be the best hits in the world, but a safe hit is a safe hit.
Sometimes I think those little bloopers are the hardest ones to actually execute, and you always take the credit for it. You meant it to go there exactly as it was so that no one could field it. You know, it goes down in the scorebook as a safe hit to right field, so, you know, take it. And into bat now is Carmel Sorensen.
And loaded bases, so I hope Carmi can get herself a safe hit. I mean, unless you go for something like a grand slam, which is the home run, scoring all 4 runners. Carmi Sorensen could do it, but I think just a safe hit would be good. No, not to be. Fly straight to the infield. Amelia Cadicchio gets underneath it, makes 0 mistakes.
2 away for Queensland. And they still have those 3 valuable runners on. But to bat now is Chelsea Falcon.
Yes, one of the older players and most experienced players of the team. If anyone can do it, Chelsea Falcon can. And that's it, beautiful hit, and it's a safe hit. That's going to score some runs for Queensland, and Falcon's running as fast as she can. She's going to get home. Oh my, an infield home run, that's amazing. Grand slam, just like we mentioned. Perfect, 4 runs.
You've certainly got the touch, haven't you, Joyce, hey? So normally a grand slam would be happening because the ball would go over the fence, but that was placed perfectly right down that third base left field line. The left fielder dived for it, so she had to scramble to get up, chase the ball, but Chelsea Falcon's fast.
She certainly is, and the only thing about hitting a grand slam where you hit it over the fence, you can sort of jog all the way around and enjoy the moment, but she had to sprint the whole way around.
I'm sure she still enjoyed it.
I'm sure she did too. So the score now 5-4. Queensland edging their way back up.
We've got a ball game, and in the batter's box, Jess Torpy.
Oh, that was close. Very close to being a fair ball, but goes down as foul ball, no matter how far away it is.
No, but for that moment, the New South Wales held their breath. It was close.
And I think that this is the deal with Queensland, as we were talking about earlier, how they just keep coming back. Recently, as the tournament's gone on, their batting has become more consistent, and so they've become more dangerous. So the timing of what they're doing is just perfect.
it's interesting that you say that, because the first safe hit came in this innings, and once they get a runner on, once they get a hit, they just seem to be on a roll. They back each other up and bat each other around.
Yes, hitting can be infectious like that. You know, it just sort of goes through the team. But they'll want it to keep going on all the way through the game. They just can't do that and stop. It's got to be ongoing. So, look, they're very dangerous, and they've been on the way up, and I'm really impressed with the way they've hit this year after Queensland's not so great performance in last year's Gilly Shield.
Oh, well watched there by Jess Torpey. Great at bat. She hung in there and has a base on balls. So 2 out for Queensland, and Jess Torpey at first base, and into the box is Jade Wall.
And I think the best part about this is it's been the lower part of the order for Queensland who started the roll going. You know, Brooke Spence with that hit to right field. Kadiccia not really wanting to put the ball anywhere with the whole ball on the plate to Jade Wall, who she knows can really hit the ball hard. And she does hit it hard, but too far up in the air. And of course, Keevers in centre field makes no mistake for 3 out.
So Queensland score 4 runs that innings, and they're back in the ball game as we head to the top of the 4th. We have New South Wales 5, Queensland 4.
It's amazing, 1 hit, 4 runs. You know, such great timing. And look, Chelsea Falcon, she actually is not completely fit at the moment. Probably most people don't know. She's had a bit of problems with her knees, and they've been picking and choosing when they've been playing her. So for her to come out and hit that hit is certainly amazing, and she'll be looking to be able to play both games tomorrow and to play well again.
So some of these players will actually be playing tonight, hoping that they put in a great performance and get picked tomorrow.
Well, that's right. If they play well and the coach is not sure who they're going to put on tomorrow, of course, anyone who's hitting the ball is going to be on the top 9.
And speaking of top 9, we have Rachel Lack.
And Lack's such a powerful hitter, and really a quiet competitor, but she has such great talent and hits the ball so well and hard. She's been in the New South Wales team now since 2014, and she's been in and out of the Australian team over that time as well. So she's been really looking for a solid performance, especially with the Olympic Games coming on this year. Yeah, great hit by her for a first hit for the game by Rachel Lack.
Yep, straight up the middle, almost indefensible there. So she stands at first base, and into the batter's box is Shannon Keevers.
And Shannon, who put that beautiful ball down to third base last time and ran it out. Will be interesting to see how she goes with the runner on 1. Came around for the bunt, so really not sure what we should do. The normal thing to do here would be to bunt and sacrifice her to get her through to second, but Keevers is so quick, she could almost put a running bunt down and get herself on as well.
We see her slap that one foul. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And Jackie O'Connor's doing a good job on the mound for Queensland, coming on last innings and just mixing it up a little bit to the New South Wales batters. A little bit slower than the other pitches, and throughout the week, probably New South Wales have had more trouble with the slower pitches, so not a bad move by Kevin Jenkins, the coach.
So Shannon Keevers misses that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Nicely placed ball on the outside to Keevers. Just trying to entice her to lean over for that third strike. Changes it up to the inside.
Full count on Shannon. It's a real battle going on here between Jackie and Shannon.
Ball up in the air to Jade Wall in centre field, taken for the first out of the game. Well played by Queensland, not letting Keevers being able to put the ball down for a bunt to get the runner to second base.
Yes, very good strategy there by the pitcher and catcher working in tandem. And into the batter's box, Stacey Porter.
Porter's had 2 hits for the game already. So she's always a danger in the batting box. She's such an amazing player, world-renowned. You could say her name in softball anywhere in the world and they know who she is. She actually plays in Japan, has been playing over there for 13 years. She's been in the New South Wales team for 19 years this year, and same as the Aussie team. So she's definitely knows this game. And only 37. Yeah.
And she's been nominated for the World Athlete.
Oh, she's one of the best players in the world, and no one would deny that. She's absolutely brilliant on third base. She can play first as well, and possibly the best batter that you'll ever see. And there you go. That time she's hit the ball beautiful and clean to right field. She's just terrible to be up against. When she comes in the batting box, you just think every single time she's going to get a hit.
And pitchers would know that, so they knew that when Rachel Lack got on base, that they knew 2 batters away, they're going to have to be facing Stacey Porter, so that's more mental pressure on the pitcher.
Yes, and they put her in number 3 position to get her early up, you know, to put the pressure on teams that, of course, they put their quick runners on at the beginning and then in the hope someone's on base, and then they're under pressure when she comes up to bat. And, of course, a lot of people intentionally walk Stacey Porter so they actually don't have to pitch to her at all.
So Jasmine Peters fouls that ball off and it goes flying through the on-deck circle and just caught the New South Wales batter. And she's taken some very clever evasive action there and said, I'm going to go and stand in the on-deck circle on the other side of the diamond.
Well done, Tarly Moore. Very smart move.
Count on Jasmine. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yes, runners on 1 and 2 and 1 out. A perfect situation would be for Jasmine to hit behind these runners out to right field to be able to get the extra base. And she looks like she's trying to do that. She's got a bat angled on that angle to do that.
Yeah, you certainly don't want her hitting down third base and third base fielding it and just putting her foot on the base and possibly getting a double play.
That's right. And, of course, on the other hand, that's what Queensland would want. You would imagine they'd be calling inside pitches to try and make them to hit down into the double play as well. But she hits a foul ball to the shortstop, to Tamika Whitefield.
So that's 2 away for New South Wales.
Brings up Tali Moore, and of course she also has been safe both turns of at bat beforehand. 3 base hit and then running out a hit to shortstop last turn at bat. At least they're lucky that there's 2 out, and the players can play any base, 1, 2 or 3 to get the force.
Takes a bit of the pressure off, but they also know Tali Moore's quick, and if they're going to go towards first base, they're going to have to do it really smartly.
Lovely pitch there by O'Connor, just on the outside of the plate. And Tali Moore just poking at that, sending it off foul. She didn't really want that one, so she only went for it, which puts her up to 2 strikes and no balls.
There's 2 runners on and 2 away.
She takes full cut at that on the outside, but can't quite get it on into the infield. Oh, change of pace there from O'Connor, trying to get more, but just on the outside of the plate, misses it. Nice pitching from young Jackie O'Connor. And Tali Moore, great hitting. She's in there the whole time just trying to wait. Foul off those pitches that she doesn't really want and wait for. Jackie to put 1 ball in there that's just that whole ball on the plate to make it easier for her to hit these runs in. Another change of pace again from O'Connor. But it goes in the dirt. Now, often you see batters go for that. It's usually a good pitch when it goes in the dirt and often entices a batter, but Moore's very, very, very waiting for the good pitch. Oh, interference. Yes, that's interference there. You've seen because she's going across to field the ball and it runs into the runner will automatically be out. And
Tamika Whitefield's gone down there in the action of fielding the ball. She was taken out accidentally, not intentionally, by the New South Wales runner, and she's still down there, just getting some attention at the moment.
Yeah, it's not looking good. Often Tamika Whitefield gets straight up. This is not like her at all. She's obviously quite hurt there. So we've got the Queensland physiotherapist out there dealing with the situation at the moment, Kathy Mitchell, who knows her injuries because she was an Australian player, softballer as well as Queensland player, and has come back into the game as a physio. Perfect situation. And the coach, Kevin Jenkins, is out there as well, just checking out the situation. It's good she's sitting up. But of course, that will be a definite out because when she's in the process of fielding a batted ball and the runner runs into it, the runner's automatically out. So that's side away.
Something's out. The runner is out for interference. Side away.
So that's something that you don't often see. But it's thanks, Joyce, for explaining that so well to all our people watching.
Yeah, it's very difficult and it can get quite complicated because in an interference, sometimes if it goes near the pitcher, they don't class the pitcher as a fielder. So if it goes close to the pitcher and through and you interfere, that often the pitcher's not counted. So it can look like the pitcher might have fielded the ball in some cases. But yeah, most times the runners will run around the fielder, but in this case it was just a bad situation.
So we head into the bottom of the 4th, And Queensland have another opportunity to put back-to-back hits and try and score some more runs.
Yeah, very impressive since they've changed the pitcher. And look, Sandy Holden's a great pitcher. You know, she's had a time pitching for Queensland and certainly for Australia. And New South Wales came out aggressively and banged her. And since young Jackie O'Connor's been on there, she's sort of changed the pace a little bit, kept New South Wales scoreless in her turn. And in the meantime, Queensland have fought their way back to get 4 runs. And now they get another chance.
And to lead them off is Charisma Kerr.
Yeah, and she'll be trying to put that ball down and run it out. And there she goes, a little hard, too hard. And in fact, she wants it to go a little bit slower or a little bit higher, and that gives her a chance to get safe at first.
Yeah, it did come quickly to Maya Geros. She actually had to jump to keep that ball in her glove. She fired it across to Bianca Abrahams and one away for Queensland. And in the batter's box, Olivia McGinley.
And she just sizes around like she's going to do a running bunt. But it's a ball on the batter. And look, Olivia's come into this game playing third. She's been playing shortstop for Queensland most of the week. But because Dorinda Stone, the normal third base for Queensland, has broken a hand, she got hit by Ellen Roberts at the last time they played each other. So she got hit by a pitch ball. She played 2 days with it broken and went today because nothing was improving. So now she's sitting on the bench and watching. And powers it to the shortstop, to Geros, and she just picks it up and makes the routine out.
So 2 away for Queensland. And coming up is third base. Sorry, second base, Brooke Spence.
Yes, Brooke had the hit last turn at bat, and she'll be hoping to start it again for Queensland. Tough competitor. She played softball through her junior years, and then she left softball and took up soccer. So she's very fit and very strong and an athlete. She's come back in the hope to try and make her way into the Olympic team. She's, I think, 30 years of age. I hope I've got that right. 31, actually, Brooke.
It's 2 balls, 1 strike on Brooke.
Yeah, Brooke might only be a small package, but she certainly packs a punch. She's so strong. Well, she's hit her own foot, straight from the bat to a foot. That really hurts, actually.
It's a real stinger, isn't it?
It is.
And you don't get time to recover. It's sort of get back in the box and do your thing. So it's 2 away for Queensland, and the count on Brooke Spence, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I talked before about Kathy Mitchell being a past player and a physiotherapist, so we've got Brooke Spence here. She's a physiotherapist now, so maybe in the future when she stops playing we might see her also helping out with our athletes. Oh, beautiful hit again from Spence out into centre field. Now this is the best game she's had all tournament. She's just starting to hit form.
Which is the right time, that's for sure.
Yes, certainly is. And danger to have on back because she's also quick.
And into the box is Rebecca McKetchin.
Oh, another beautiful hit from McKetchin as well. And McKetchin, I think this is maybe her first year in the team, or maybe she was in the team a few years back and had a break and is back again. So it's good to see her getting a hit.
So 2 runners on now for Queensland, back-to-back hits, and into the box is their original lead-off shortstop, Tamika Whitefield. So we'll see how she's recovered from that hit.
And that's a beautiful inside pitch by Cadicchio, just hitting that corner. She follows it by another inside pitch, and first base Abrahams goes flying into the fence to try and catch that, in the hope that their wind is going to bring it back like it has been in other games.
So 2 out, 2 runners on, 2 strikes on Tamika Whitefield.
And you can see when they have 2 strikes on them, often you see the batters, they just shorten up on their bat a little bit more, and they take those 2 steps a little bit closer to the plate just to try and adjust a little bit. And you can see Tamika doing it now, just on that 3rd strike. Oh, beautiful catch by Keevers in centre field.
Keevers comes in, slides in on her knees, takes that catch and retires Queensland before they can score any runs. So we head to the top of the 5th innings now, and it's 5-4 in favour of New South Wales.
Yeah, almost just seeing a little bit of flatness happening in this game. You know, one of the teams really needs to get up and take more control. Anything could happen at any stage. Both teams are so capable of batting the ball well and getting on top of the other. But I must say I'm really impressed with Jackie O'Connor, how she's come on, and just that change of pace has really put New South Wales off for this couple of innings. So I had spoken to Kevin Jenkins about his plan for the game, and he did tell me about another plan of putting a different pitcher on if they hit Jackie, but hopefully that won't happen for them.
Let's hope so, because right now it's a really interesting arm wrestle out there.
Yes, it is, and New South Wales have their first batter up, Bianca Abrahams, the first base. And last time at bat, she's had 1 hit so far this game and hit to shortstop at the last turn at bat. Beautiful stop by Jackie O'Connor. Reflex straight up and makes throws to Torpy to make the out.
You notice some pitchers have a mask, but Jackie O'Connor doesn't pitch with a mask?
No, she doesn't. Obviously, she's never looked like getting hit. I think some players probably have either been hit before in the face and take no chances, but obviously she hasn't had that yet. Queensland one year had one pitcher who threw, I think, her first pitch for the tournament, came back and hit her and put her out for the tournament. I'd imagine she wears the mask now. Oh, beautiful catch by Jess Torpy, but that ball swirled around as we keep talking about, and both Kami Sorensen and Torpy underneath it, but luckily made the out.
It was really good. You could actually hear Jess calling out, saying, leave it, it's mine, it's mine, it's mine. So any young players watching, that's a great lesson in how you take charge out there.
On that hit going out to left field to Charisma Kerr, who makes a beautiful catch, running catch to make the out.
So that was a good hit there by Maya Jaros. Could have gone either way out there, but great coverage by Charisma Kerr to take that catch, and retires New South Wales. And we go into the bottom of the 5th.
Yes, and that was a very quick innings for New South Wales with three up and 3 down. And it just seems to be the way this game's going at the moment. Kadichi's doing a fabulous job in the centre. And I'm sure Coach Kerry Porter has put her in there after other night of not having such a great night and having the loss, for her to come out here to consolidate, to try and get her game on, her strike rate up. She threw a lot of pitches the other night and her strike rate was down dramatically. So I'm sure that's the plan for her, because she's such a good pitcher.
And to lead off the bottom of the fifth for Queensland is their catcher, Carmel Sorensen.
Carmi not quite getting onto the pitch yet this game. It's good to see her lead that first pitch, just to try and steady yourself and to see the speed of the pitch.
Great eye there by Carmel. Watches that one across. Ball 2.
It's hard to see from here, but it looked almost a strike.
Puts the pressure back on Amelia, the pitcher.
Yeah, 3 balls in a row. And for a batter, like, you're going to assume that Cadicchio is going to put the whole ball over the plate here to get a strike on it. So this next pitch is the one to hit, really. And Carmi Sorensen thinks the same thing and sets it high up in the air again. Really difficult for the players because the ball is swirling up in the air. But Molly Milne does a good job.
One away for Queensland, and into the box is Chelsea Falcon, who hit that inside the ground home run.
Chelsea's such a great player. I remember when won Nationals, it was just really hard to even get her out. She was just so on form. She just smacked the ball so hard that in the final, I think New South Wales didn't even throw to her. They intentionally walked her. Not this time, though, and Chelsea hits to Stacey Porter, who, with her rocket arm, throws it over to first base.
First base player, number 25, is Torpy.
First pitch on Jess is ball 1.
She'd really hate me to say go Nisi-Wisi.
But she can't hear you.
Someone will tell her. Nice batting by Jessica Torpy. And when you were saying before, she did a great job of calling out. She's just loud all the time, so that's just the way she is.
3 balls in a row on Jess.
Yeah, had a walk last turn at bat, and Cadicchio looks like the ball rate's going up a little bit for her at the moment. She really needs to consolidate and get her strikes in early in the count. Torpy wants to hit. She reaches for that a little bit, probably a bit low, but fouls it off.
So Amelia's still behind in the count. 3 balls, 1 strike.
And Torpy just leaving that bat head behind on that outside pitch, which sends it foul. Jess is 30 years of age and plays for Bears Club in the Brisbane Association. And this is her 10th year playing for Gillies, some with South Australia and some with Queensland.
Great piece. Puts it on the ground in between third and short. Perfect position. So Queensland have their first runner on. There's 2 away. But we'll see if they can get onto a roll, and with Jade Wall coming into the batter's box, there's every chance.
Oh, absolutely, and she can hit a home run as well. So if she can score a home run here, then that puts Queensland ahead. And she's done the big swing, but unfortunately right underneath the ball, which sends it up for a fly to Stacey Porter.
So into the batter's box, as we head into the top of the sixth, is the left fielder, Molly Meenan.
And Molly Meenan has flied out and Cade in this game, so she'll be looking to get a first hit and get on base for New South Wales, especially being lead-off hitter. Fouls it off on that outside pitch. And she puts down the bunt. Pitcher picks it up, but too late. She turns around, throws it through to the second base. Spence, who's taken the spot of first, and misses the runner. New South Wales in a perfect situation with their lead-off on first base.
Coming into the batter's box is their original lead-off and their catcher, Rachel Lack.
Back to the top of the lineup, number 31, Rachel Lack.
And that pitch put all over the plate there. That was the pitch to hit for Lack, that first one. Will Kerry Porter bunt Lack, or will she hit her away?
I reckon she'll hit her.
And so do I.
2 strikes on Rachel Lack.
Yes, and look, she's a good hitter, so why wouldn't you? And before going into tomorrow, do you want to see how they can bunt, or do you want to see how they can hit? So.
Yeah, good point.
And she lets her hit again, which is just great, because really that's what you want to see your players do. And Lack's she's been getting a few hits in there, but not her usual bang hits that come off the bat, long line drives, which she's renowned for. She's sort of been mistiming the ball a bit, but still managing to get herself some hits. Attempted change up by O'Connor. Of course, lets it go too late and it goes over the batter's head. Good idea though, I like it. Change of pace. And again, Lex takes a big cut, goes out into the outfield, and again, Jade Wall right underneath it. And I can't say how high that went and how much it must have moved, but Jade Wall made it look very easy.
Definitely one of those really secure fielders out there in the outfield.
Yeah, she is, and has been in the game for such a long time. And she actually likes surfboard riding.
The ball hit back by Shannon Keevers to the pitcher, Jackie O'Connor. She fields it. And Jess Torpey quickly had to get back on that base. And it's 2 away for New South Wales. And they have a runner in scoring position at second.
And with Porter batting 1,000, 3 hits so far at 3 turns at bat. Danger time right here. Oh, that's it again. That's it again. Oh, my goodness. Great players with great luck. You know, just puts it in the right spot. It was very difficult. Jade Wall did the best she possibly could. Even if she had have dived for that, she wasn't going to catch it. So, great job by Stacey Porter.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, of course, another run for New South Wales crosses. And what a game Stacey Porter's having. 4 hits from 4 turns at bat. She's got to be happy with that.
Oh, you'd have to be.
On another hit from New South Wales, and that's going to score Stacey Porter as well. Oh, out. That's a beautiful throw, actually. They took a big chance because Jade Wall has a big arm, and she's renowned for throwing outs at home. And I tell you what, that was a close call at home, but umpire saw it as out. Porter went a little bit around, probably gave the catcher a little bit more time to tag her.
And Carmel just didn't panic at all. She just took it cleanly and just went for, you know, tagging the runner.
Oh, look, she's a tough competitor, Carmi. I'm sure she's used to making those outs. But, you know, Stacey Porter tried to avoid that tag. She went round to the side. Beautiful slide by her. But according to the umpire, was tagged on her way through. Obviously, Kerry Porter and Stacey Porter didn't think so.
No, but that should lift Queensland. You know, pulling off a big play like that has got to lift them. And heading into the bottom of the 6th, they don't have a lot of time left to claw these runs back.
No, they certainly don't have much. There's only 2 more bats for Queensland to try and get the runs back. And so they've got Charisma Kerr coming up, which is one of the fast runners, which is perfect. You want her to be able to put the ball down, get on base. They need their lead runner on. Cadicchio still on the mound for New South Wales. Low pitch for the first pitch. Maybe there's been a missed signal. Lack calls time to go out to talk to her. Maybe some problem there with the signal. Didn't pitch what she asked for. Or maybe just a little pep talk. Come on, get those strikes in early, girl.
So ball 1 on Charisma Kerr.
Oh, she swipes it at high pitch. Beautiful pitch from Cadicchio, rise ball, just out of the zone, and of course Kerr gets sucked into it. Oh, beautiful hit. That's excellent job there from Charisma. A little bit of a misfield there, but luckily for New South Wales, Kerr only makes it onto first base. But great hit. Perfect, that high pitch on the outside, just tapping it out over that infield. That's perfection right there.
And she's quick, so that puts a little bit of doubt or a little bit of indecision in the New South Wales fielders' minds, thinking if this ball comes to me, am I going to be able to make the play before she gets up to second?
And here we have a change in batters. The coach has taken out Olivia McGinley and has put in Brooke McNamara. Now, Brooke McNamara normally pitches, and in this case, she actually can hit and is renowned for her hitting, but doesn't get to do it too often at this level. But she can't be underestimated. She's strong, and she's got a great swing.
Sounds like the script is just made for her.
Well, the script is also that looks like Queensland aren't going to be bunting here either. You've got a runner on 1 with none out, and both coaches are going for hits. Now, Jenkins has just put on some sort of signal or a dummy signal. Dummy signal, of course, yeah. And it's great to see. Let's see what our batters can do before we go into the last day of the Gillies Shield.
She's really shortened up on the bat.
Look, it's a tough gig for someone like Chook, which is her nickname, because she doesn't get to see and have a lot of turns at bat. So coming against Cadiccio wouldn't be something she does too often. So she's shortening up, hopefully, to try and punch that ball.
She gets a feel of it, but fouls it off over the net. And it's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And look, Brooke McNamara nearly didn't come away with the team. She had an injury beforehand and only just got allowed to come, so she hasn't been that fit. And she's done a great job. She's been pitching in quite a few of the games and has pitched a few times against New South Wales. Maybe this is where Kevin's saying, oh, here's to get your turn back after they've hit you the last couple of games.
Wow, that's a great at-bat. She watches. Very disciplined at-bat. Takes the base on balls. Queensland have runners on first and second. Brooke's done her job. She comes out of the game.
McGinley's re-entered and goes in for the runner. And, oh, this is great timing. Brooke Spence 2 hits from 2 turns at bat, up to bat with runners on 1 and 2. Again, a perfect time to put down a bunt. Will Kevin Jenkins put down a bunt? My guess is no, but, I mean, who knows? He needs 2 runs, 3 to win.
She turned like she's going to bunt. Is that just to put a bit of doubt in the fielders' minds?
No, look, he'd want his runners on 2 and 3, definitely. And Chook can put down a good bunt. But hits herself in the leg instead, and she's not in a good way. Ouch. So she actually tried to slap that ball rather than put down a short bunt. So at least they're trying something different. And I think now's the time to do it, get everything in preparation for tomorrow, know what your players are capable of before you go into the playoffs.
So we're just giving Brooke a little bit of time to get some feeling back into that leg and make sure there's no real damage there.
And Jenkins still putting on some signs. Of course, you know, some of those are just
fake news.
Fake news, yeah. Same old story. And of course, they think she's going to bunt too, so they put the ball in nice and high in the hope she's going to get drawn into it and put the ball in the air for an easy out. Or infield fly, that would be. Automatic out because there's a runner on 1 and 2 with less than 2 out. And that rule basically is put in there so the fielder can't intentionally drop the ball and then try and get 3 outs.
Into the box is right fielder Rebecca McCatchin.
Oh, goodness me, she's looking good with the bat tonight. She's really swinging it well, and she looks really confident. She's had one hit already in this game, and now's the right time again for Queensland to score a run. And a safe hit should score. You've got Kerr on second, who's the quickest in the team. Another high pitch there from Cadiccio. another hit from her. That's amazing. And here we go. Going home, Kiva's throw. It's not going to get there in time. Kerr runs it out, and another run scores for Queensland. They're just edging their way up again. It's just getting exciting.
So Queensland still have runners on first and second. And into the box comes shortstop Tamika Whitefield.
Rebecca McCutcheon, what a hero. I'm really impressed with her in this game. Oh, and Whitefield sends it up high into centre field to Kivas, and not long enough to be able to get the runner to go through to third base.
I think if she had her turn at bat again, she would make some adjustments there. She'd be quite disappointed in that.
Yes, definitely. She did the same thing she did last turn at bat. And I'm sure if she gets another turn, she'll be hoping that doesn't happen again. And Sorensen's up to bat, and she'll be wanting to flatten out her hits as well. So had a couple of flies so far, 2 to be exact in this game. She needs to flatten out that ball to try and score some runs. Oh, that's a slow pitch attempt from Cadicchio, who really had a problem letting go of that. It's just sort of staying ahead far too long, which got the runners onto 2 and 3.
So Queensland now have 2 runners in scoring position, and all we need from Carmel is a safe hit.
Bat head back behind is still Kami Sorensen. She needs to get that out and attack that pitch. She's renowned for hitting. She's renowned for bat speed. You know, this shouldn't be any trouble for her even against this pitcher, but you know, when the pressure's on, you never know what's going to happen. Oh, there you go, Kami Sorensen. That's what she's been waiting for. Did exactly that, flattened out that pitch, learned by her last 2 turns at bat that she needed to do that. That's great hitting from Kami Sorensen. Oh my goodness, 2-run score, 7-6. This is a reenactment of last night's game.
So Queensland hit the front with those 3 runs. There's 2 away. And again, we've just seen Queensland back-to-back-to-back hits.
Yeah, there's a big message going on in this game, isn't there, for tomorrow, as to who's going to put the most pressure on. But no matter what happens from here, really, Queensland have said to New South Wales, we can hit, and whatever runs you get on, we're going to come back at you. Oh, and again, we've got Falcon, who's come up to bat, hit the ball really hard through the shortstop, and when that pressure's on, that's when errors happen, don't they? It's so difficult.
If you put the ball on the ground, the fielders have to make the play, and you know, when it's a hot ball like that, the pressure's on and anything can happen, as you say. So we've got runners on first and third. No pressure, Jess Torpy.
And then we've got Chris McCur's coming to third base to run for the catcher. For the 2-out rule, and time's been called by Kevin Jenkins. Obviously they're taking off Falcon and putting in a runner for Falcon as well. As I said, they're probably trying to save her. She's not at 100%.
She's done her bit for this turn at bat anyway.
Oh, absolutely. She's had a great game today, especially Grand Slam. You can't do better than that. But here we've got Danielle Stewart coming out to run for Chelsea Falcon. And this is her first year in the Queensland Open team. And this past year went away in the Under-19 World Series. So good up-and-coming player, and she's a catcher. And of course, Jess Torpy into bat. Dangerous hitter in this stage of the game. Jess, renowned for hitting. So pressure's on New South Wales. Oh, goodness.
Great take of the ball for Jess.
Our hearts were in our mouth then. Beautiful drive straight up the middle. Pitcher could not get any glove on the ball there, and she scores a run.
Yeah, that pitch right there went right down the chute and had a hit me sign written on that, and that's exactly what Jess Torpy did. She hit that hard, and I tell you what, Cadicchio only just got a hip out the way. Otherwise, she was going to be bowled over.
Well, I think we both gasped.
Yes, when you were talking about wearing masks before, I thought, oh God. And I have seen before pitchers get hit. I've actually seen a game where a pitcher got hit in the knee, it bounced back to the catcher, and then the catcher threw to one and made the out. That's how hard it hit the pitcher. Obviously, she went to hospital after that, which was terrible, but it was such an amazing thing to see. Beautiful batting from Jess Torpy.
She's been showing promise all night.
Yeah, and look, this is when I don't mind saying I'm related to her.
So strike one on Jade Wall.
And another good hitter. The pressure's still really on New South Wales. And, of course, Kerry Porter leaving Cadicchio out there saying you need to do this yourself. Oh, another beautiful hit from Jade Wall. That gets the runners round. They're sending the runner home. Danielle Stewart hits home plate. Oh, my goodness. Queensland are just coming back.
5 runs in this innings.
I mean, just look, Queensland have always been renowned for the hitting, and last year they hardly hit at all, and so this year I think they're doing last year's hitting and this year they hit all at once, yeah.
Well, we've gone right through the lineup and we're back to Charisma Kerr.
No, look, you can't say anything Cadicchio. Look, she's not pitching so badly, but I think, you know, she's been sitting on the mound, and after a while, I think nearly any pitcher's going to get hit against Queensland in a game like today.
Well, Amelia finally takes that ball, fires it across to first, and retires Queensland. But that was an amazing innings, batting innings by Queensland, 5 runs. And they now lead 9 runs to 6, put all the pressure back on New South Wales because we're in the top of the 7th.
Yes, and this is it for New South Wales. They this is their do or die 3 outs or 4 runs, really, to win the game. So, and there's still Queensland have kept Jackie O'Connor on the mound, and it would just be amazing for this girl to be able to throw these innings and to be able to keep the New South Wales hitters, who are great hitters, to 0 runs, which is what she's done so far. I won't talk too soon because you never can, but what she's done right up to right now is pretty amazing for a first-timer.
Yeah, she's pitching like she's been around for about 20 years, really showing a mature game there on the mound. And into the batter's box is Tali Moore.
Yes, and you're going to see here virtually no signals from Kerry Porter. They're going to have to hit their way out of this. They've got 3 outs or 4 runs, and Tali Moore, a great way to start. She's a good hitter. She's had been on base every time, so she's quick. And well, last turn did she fly out? It was choice. Thank you.
Well done, Tamika Whitefield there at shortstop. Moves across, collects it beautifully and fires it across to Torpy at first. And there's that 1 away.
Yes, 1 away, and that was a very important one to get the lead-off runner. You certainly don't want someone with her speed on the bases at this stage of the game. And as we talked about, you don't want anyone getting a hit, really, because then anything can happen. Oh, and then we have the swirling wind, and a ball that that should have been taken by Torpy ended up going way behind her. So another chance for Abrahams to be able to get on base for New South Wales to start a roll happening.
Yeah, I hope you can see that on the screen there, how far that ball moved.
I know it's nuts. It's really difficult. And now I can say she's not my niece because she missed it.
But it is, it's really swirling. I mean, yeah, you'd need a tractor front end loader to try and catch it out there at this time.
And Abrahams takes a beautiful cut of that ball just off it. That would have been a beautiful had she connected the centre of it.
So it's 2 strikes on Bianca Abrahams.
And facing Jackie O'Connor. And I must say, of course, she's throwing the ball, but you've got Kami Sorensen behind the plate, catching, calling all the pitches. So she's obviously doing a great job up until now and really trying to mix up the calls. Abraham's not quite getting that full pitch and fouling it off. And so there's 1 out and only 2 outs for Queensland to get. So New South Wales really need Abrahams to get on here. She fouls off again. Hanging in there in the hope that Jackie O'Connor puts on a nice pitch across the place for her to hit.
Yeah, it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bianca's faced 6 pitches already at this turn at bat. And it's a good turn at bat for Abrahams. She just has to stay in there and stay in, waiting for that pitch and to make the most of it. Enticing pitch there from Jackie O'Connor, high out of the zone in the hope she's going to have a go at it. But it was disciplined.
Yeah, she can't be talked into it. But nice catching by Kami Sorensen behind the dish. Oh, great stop there by McKinlay at shortstop, who backhands it, sends it across, and 2 out. Wow. My goodness, who would have thought in the first innings that we'd be at this stage?
It's been a brilliant game, absolutely brilliant spectacle to watch. And into the box is Jenna Trim.
Oh, that's a great pitch to start with O'Connor. Perfect, getting in a pitch early in the count. Puts her on top. And again, trying to entice her to swing at that, but Trim is being very patient. It's their last chance. She really needs to get a safe hit to keep New South Wales in this game. Oh, beautiful out there. And that's Rebecca McKetchin on third base, just gloving that ball. I almost thought it was going to come out, but she throws it across. 3 outs. Fantastic.
And that ends the ball game, and Queensland has come from behind. And that could be the game that we see repeated tomorrow in the grand final, New South versus Queensland.
And what an amazing effort when you think 4 runs by New South Wales in the first dig. It looked like they were going to annihilate Queensland. They get another run in another innings, and then Queensland come back and they just out-hit them. Just amazing. What a great game.
Yeah, it was. And the crowd's giving a lovely round of applause here for both teams. They really appreciated that game. That's only the second game this championship that New South have lost. And Queensland, that's a real confidence booster for them going into tomorrow's game.
Oh, look, it is, and it sends a big message, and New South Wales would have got it. And look, all ticks go to the Jackie O'Connor for coming into that game. She threw a great game, and Kami Sorensen behind the dish. Just, accolades to a first-timer coming in against those great hitters.
Yeah, absolutely. Great game. And tomorrow, Queensland first have to get past South Australia in the first game of the day. And New South will just wait around and meet them in whoever wins that one in the grand final.
Yeah, and anything can happen. As I say, South Australia really hitting the ball at the moment as well. So the games that look like they're going to be high-scoring games, it looks like that's the way it's going to be. So it's great to see all the Aussie girls and all the states all hitting the ball, and with some great pitches here as well. It's looking great for Australian softball, actually.
Absolutely great for Australian softball. So just repeating that local Perth time, second versus third, so that's Queensland versus South Australia, will be at 2:30, and then the grand final will be New South Wales versus whoever wins that first game. And we wish all three teams the best of luck for tomorrow. We want to see a great spectacle and making it really hard for all those selectors picking the team to go to Tokyo. And
We're going into the grand final at 16, so see the Norris softball supporters.